Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 28th of August to the 3rd of September 2023. We're entering a time now of some fairly rapid changes, so hopefully we're all rested and centred, having taken some time to be present and slow down over the lovely sunny lazy month of August. So a few things happening this week. We start the week with Mars moving into Libra. And Mars is the ruler of Aries, which is opposite Libra. And I really do recommend for anybody that's learning astrology that you consider the signs as opposite pairs. Literally halves the amount of work and brings the opposition into more clarity. So we have Libra ruled by Venus, Aries ruled by Mars. Now we've got that ruler, Mars, over in Libra. Whereas Aries is I am, Libra is we are on one level. So this is going to bring some recalibration into self and other, which we most normally refer to as relationships. We're dealing with the masculine Mars and the feminine Libra, so a balance of the masculine and feminine here. But Mars does like to burn things up and get rid of the dross, so things may get a little bit feisty, anger flare-ups, pulses of electricity flowing through the harmonic sign of Libra. So for the next 7 to 8 weeks, just observe where Libra is in your chart and how Mars feels going through that section. Because the best way to learn astrology is actually to be aware of what's going on and where, and then experience it as it happens. By the 29th we have Uranus turning retrograde, and this happens every year. If you're following along, this is going to go from 23 to 19 degrees. And Uranus is our spiritual wisdom, the frequency that we transmit and receive on, our soul self. Taking Uranus energy inwards will then be returning to that unique frequency, fanning the flames of it, shining brightly from deep within, taking a retreat from the outside world, the external, the mundane, and putting the focus back on know thyself, inner wisdom, deep knowledge, permission to be different, permission to be unique, and tapping into a certain audacious streak that it takes to get out of the system and into sovereignty. So that'll be going till the end of January, after the summer, which can be very outward and sociable, to really pull those frequencies back in and recenter and recalibrate on a soul level. On Thursday, early in the morning UK time, we have the full moon in Pisces. This one's 7 degrees for anybody that's wanting to place that in their chart. So where does 7 degrees Pisces happen? Which house is that in? And is it near or making aspects to any of your natal planets? So Pisces is opposite Virgo. We have the Sun in Virgo and the full moon in Pisces. Whereas Virgo is the processing mind, very acute, the student, the master, working often on a very mental plane. Pisces comes along as the opposite and takes us back into the inner, emotional, cellular knowing, our intuition, our instinct, our psychic abilities. And this is a much more relaxing realm. There's nothing to do, there's no to-do list, there's no responsibility, there's no busyness. So we can plunge into this Pisces full moon, giving ourselves respite from our daily duties and cleanse every cell, feel the life force pulsing through our bodies, feel our connection to all that is, and let go, rinse and release in a delicious divine moon bath. This is also then assisted by the fact that we are in Mercury retrograde opposite in Virgo. So taking Mercury inwards and busy Virgo, are we being effective? Do we actually need to do anything? Why are we doing things? Are we being too servile? That's a big deal for Virgo, always wanting to serve. If so, why? What or who are we serving? And can we simplify our daily lives to do less and be more? Less effort, more gain. If we're working efficiently, but also taking the focus off working altogether, going back to the source of what motivates us and why. So this Mercury retrograde, depending on where it is for you again, house and connecting planets, this can change the way that you think, change the way that you communicate, change communication in relationships, in teams, in families, very much depending on placement. We're going through to the 16th of September, so always a good workshop to observe what changes, especially on the inside, changes of perception, absolutely vital. That changes what we decide and act upon in our external world. So we're taking back the steering wheel, taking back our conscious awareness, placing it on the inside. And as we're starting the school year soon, deciding on the goals and the curriculum for our coming harvest. What do we want to put our energy into? But that actually requires that we value our energy before making such a plan. So it's worth mentioning here that Mercury, the processing mind, but Uranus is that higher mind, both turning retrograde, or both in retrograde this week. Very deep, very reflective, and going back to the roots of what we believe and why, in order that our subsequent actions will lead us to the required goals. Then on Sunday, September the 3rd, we have Venus turning direct, and we've spoken about this over the weeks, going back to our heart, what really gives us excitement and passion, allowing ourselves to feel those desires, putting ourselves first, putting our happiness, creativity centre stage. So as you can see, lots of activity on different levels here, tuning into different aspects daily, but very much with the Pisces full moon following our intuition and inner knowing, our emotional guidance system, and preparing the ground really for the coming months as we change seasons and we take everything inwards. So if you would like to see where this is happening for you, I am available zoehines7@gmail.com. Readings, coaching, teaching, your chart, adding tarot, numerology, all manner of other subjects. I post these videos on my YouTube channel, zoeastro, Facebook @astrozoe, and Instagram, zoehines7. So taking this week one day at a time, very reflective, very inwards, lots of quick moving energies on a daily basis, but all, as always, working in concert as we're learning to let go and recenter and take back control of our sovereign lives. So wishing you a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.